Consider this scenario. You have your next week or 2 weeks planned completely, jam-packed, and suddenly your boss turns up and he says, you've got to travel with me. Or he assigns you a task for which you may have to cancel certain appointments or your schedule. And you are now in a dilemma, what to do, how to manage. Happens? Does this resonate? Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA corporate executive turned anchor person, now a happiness coach helping corporate leaders create deep connects and meaningful relationships in their organizations. So, how often are you faced with dilemmas like this where you have to manage something that comes up all of a sudden against something that is planned or pre-scheduled? If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, he is my boss. I cannot refuse. If I refuse, he may not like it. He may, impact my rating. He may get angry. After all, he's the boss. Whatever he says has to happen. There's no way I can refuse. Now, does all of this go through your mind as you are trying to figure out what to do with this dilemma? Yeah. So I want you to consider here that there is a belief that you are carrying maybe for your boss or for a boss-employee relationship, that this is how it's supposed to be. This is how me as an employer, as a leader, behave with my boss. This is how it has to be, period. So there's a very strong belief that you're carrying, and that belief is somewhere limiting you. It is stopping you from focusing on addressing the challenge at hand or focusing on what could be a workable solution. Right? So I would say, put aside this belief of yours. Okay? Whatever it is, that fear around the whole thing, just put it aside for a moment. Okay? Consider that this may be just your thought. This just may be your belief. And for all you know, that's not how your boss is going to react. Okay, and you may even ask yourself, how many times in the past has this really happened? All of this that you're thinking, oh, he's going to get angry, he's going to impact my rating, he will just not listen, he will not like it. How many times in the past, when you've had a similar situation, has it really happened? That's number one. So just consider and put it aside. Now, once you've put it aside, start to think, what can you really do? So whatever is the new task that your boss has asked you to do, whether it's traveling with him or a certain other task, are you really required? So at your end, figure out, there is something that I have lined up for myself and there's something that has come up now. Which of these requires me more urgently? So let's say you reach a conclusion that what I have scheduled for myself is way more important. I cannot reschedule, cannot miss it for anything. And this one thing which has come up suddenly is something I can manage. Now, how can I manage? The moment you start to think, the moment you put aside your fear, you'll be able to think. Because when you have that fear, you will not be able to think. The moment you've put aside that fear, you start to think, okay, this is where I'm needed. What can I do here? Right? And you come up with 2 or 3 possible options there. This is possible. So instead of me traveling, I can have an X person travel. If somebody has to travel with the boss, then maybe I can have so-and-so person travel. Or can I sitting here manage the whole thing? Right? Now, once you've done that, go to your boss and have a conversation around this. Do not delay it. Now, a lot of times, we end up spending so much time thinking and sulking that it gets too late. The moment you've realized, the moment you've given it a thought, walk up to your boss and talk to him. Set the context. Let him know that while what he has asked you to do is important and he really respects that, however, there is something which is already there that needs your attention more than what is at hand, what has come up. And can I offer you so and so person traveling with you? Or can I ensure that sitting here, whatever support you need there, I will manage that? Or can I take up this task a week later, 3 days later? Whatever possible options that come to your mind. See, understand ultimately both of this, whatever you're doing already, whatever you had planned for yourself, is also a part of the work. There's no way your boss would want it to suffer. So it's not a competition, where it's about how dare he not listen to me. It's about the overall work not suffering and happening in the best possible way. If you could set that context before you start the conversation with your boss and then you put up your point and let him know the available options, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, no boss in the world would get angry, would refuse, would impact your ratings, or do anything otherwise, right? More often than not, it's the meaning that we attach to the whole situation because of certain beliefs that we carrying that kind of ruins the whole thing. So I would urge you to just put aside that fear, put aside that belief. Consider your boss is also your well-wisher. He is also somebody who is looking, who would be willing to look at the larger picture. So it's important to speak up. It's important to share. Okay. I hope you found this useful, meaningful, and go ahead and have those conversations. It's so important, and I would say it's at the source of it. We refrain from sharing, we refrain from having those conversations. Somewhere in the past, my boss shouted at me, he was furious, he is very short tempered. For sure, he's not going to like it. No, it was an instance, it happened. But there is something which is now, which needs your attention, his attention. Walk up to him, talk to him. You'll be amazed. But yes, do not forget to set the context. Context is decisive. It'll determine in which direction your conversation goes. Right? So go ahead, take that action, and have an amazing relationship with your boss. Take care. Bye-bye.